Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw your name as selected by one of the judges, I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" Because we've obviously had our podcast together and hung out in Spark meetups, and I'm like, "Oh, I love your business. This is so exciting."
Oh, that's so cute. I'm so excited. I can't believe that I've won. That's so insane. It's amazing. Thank you.
Oh my God, so good. So let's start out by telling everyone who you are and what you do.
So I am Nisha Abey. I am the founder of Abey Print Studio. So we are a multidisciplinary textile print studio. So we kind of design artworks for clothing or homewares or stationery. Just really original, like hand painted artworks that kind of work with brands or to a mood board or to trend. So yeah, very creative over here, which is amazing.
That's so cool. I love it. And has this always been a passion of yours? How did the business get started?
Yeah, I kind of like in a really roundabout way. As a teenager, I loved flat drawing flowers. I loved painting. I loved textiles. And back then I was like, how like this, that kind of becomes fashion design. And so I kind of
Mm.
went off on this huge tangent throughout like my whole 20s and early 30s and just was like fashion design and production, and then realized textile design was actually a role and slowly kind of went back into kind of the dream. So yeah, I always say to people when they're like, I don't know what my passion is, I'm like, go back to your teenage self. What is it exactly that you
Mm.
love to do, like you've spent hours doing and you don't care about, like you don't care about money, you don't care about time? That is like, and try to figure out how you can make that a career. That's like my number one thing at the minute. So yeah,
I
it's cool.
I love that. It's such good advice. Like, what do you actually love doing? What has lit you up over the years?
Yeah, it's like so important because I don't know. I like loved fashion design. I loved production, but what like made my heart like sing was just the creation and the trends and the like painting and just the artwork behind like a design. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so like excited that I actually am doing this in real life. It's a little bit of a dream kind of. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm painting Santas or I'm painting flowers today. It's like that's weird. Like my teenage self would be like, oh, I'm so proud of you.
I made it. I did it.
Still a long way to go, but where I am now, it's amazing.
Oh my God, that is so good. So then tell me, how are you going to spend your $5,000 grant?
Oh my gosh, it's literally going to be like life changing for the business. So I currently am working very project based. One, I'll work with like a brand here and a brand there on one kind of artwork, and it's taken like a year now to actually expand into kind of a pattern library. And so just to be able to scale up to create unlimited artwork that I can then go out and sell to like brands rather than waiting for them to approach me. It just kind of helps with passive income. It kind of helps with just growing and scaling up the business. And I can, for the future, can then work with other artists and bring them into the pattern library. And it's kind of like, as well as kind of keeping the very collab side of like the business and very signature Abey print studio, like my watercolor style, just having that kind of pattern library will help support the rest of the business. And so that's kind of the main thing I'll be doing. So in the business, you take around a whole suitcase of like artworks. It's very old school, but like on a header with like kind of hangers of like a watercolor floral or something. But so that's kind of where the money's going to be spent on actually inventory. And so I'll be doing the design, but printing it onto fabric, which is really exciting. And then the remaining money will just be spent on a content creation shoot. What I find like being an art, like I'm trying to position myself as an artist, not just a designer. And I think a lot of people always react to seeing me as the face of the brand. And I would like to do that properly and do it very on brand and very, who am I? So like the money is just amazing. Just having that capital to actually do those small little things. It's just like the tiniest like change that can kind of like launch the business into where it needs to go. Like that's what's so exciting, I think.
I mean, I just love hearing going from, waiting for people to contact you and you being very like delivery focused and project focused. Like,
Mm.
imagine when those fabric swatches are in somebody's hands and they just order it and you're like, what? You just
Yeah.
paid me money and I wasn't even there and I didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and having the agent do that, and it's kind of like just more tangible because like you kind of see an artwork online and you see a million artworks online. It doesn't kind of give the real, magic of it. But actually, yeah, I feel so. It's kind of basically printed on like a silk touch poly, but just feeling it and draping it and seeing what it can do, like that kind of really just sells an artwork so much more, and it kind of just sells it so much easier than a little kind of tiny images online. So it will kind of take me into actual real life studio, like real
Yeah.
life who textile designers are, and on their kind of same level, which I think is really exciting.
Yeah, well, I can imagine somebody like that, like being able to touch and feel it and being able to hold it. And as you said, drape it, like they would resonate with that. Like, I feel like creative people are more tactile people.
100%, yeah, and they need to see it, and like even color, like like a yellow or a pink, it just sings when it's on like a slightly like satiny fabric. So that's kind of where the majority of the money will be spent, but it's kind of just a little bit of a leap pad. So once I've kind of done spring, summer, autumn, winter, um I'll be selling, hopefully, touch wood, it will sell. Like it needs to be like that.
Love it.
But it'll kind of just be able to kind of keep rolling, and then that money will be able to help produce future collections. So that's kind of why that like little bit of a jumping board is so helpful.
Oh, I love it so much. And so then tell me about the grant process.
Yeah.
So, how many have you only applied once? How many times have you applied for the grant?
Actually only once.
Cool.
I have been looking at it and thinking about it for months. So like, I like followed you guys on Instagram for ages, and then I signed up to the program, which is amazing and so resourceful. Like, and I kind of signed up more for like the community and like just like the support, the business
Mhm.
side support, because I think doing all those things and even the kind of like meetups and I just think having that like little community of like other creatives, or not even creatives, like business women, I think that is
Mm.
so good, because especially working from home, you kind of get a little bit
We go a little stir crazy at home,
yeah,
don't we?
a little bit
Yes,
crazy. And
we're
I
a
think
lot crazy.
even like 10 minutes just to like just say hi, or just some of your podcasts and talks and stuff, I think they're just so valuable. So I kind of signed up for that. And then I was looking at the grant and I was like, oh, it's so scary to do it, like putting yourself out there. And I was just, you just overthink things. And I was like, no, come
Yeah.
on, let's just try it. And I think I you had like a grant, how to do a grant
Mm.
masterclass thing.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was so helpful, just to kind of really align my brain into thinking about grants rather than fluffy, creative me, crazy by mind. So it was really good.
Yeah, and it is funny too because like grants, they are so outcome focused. I think as like creative people, we're like, the dream, like it's all
Yeah.
amazing, everything's gonna be awesome. But when you're
Yeah.
in grant land, it's like this is what I will do, and this is the
Yeah.
impact it will have, and it's
Yeah, but
a
that
little
was
boring.
amazing. But that also was very good, because it's actually like thinking through the process of like, how will this money actually impact the business, and like I always knew like what I needed to do to kind of get to the next stage, and it was just having that little bit of capital, but just being able to like reframe your mind and like think about it for the grant was actually also quite helpful for me. It's like doing
Mm,
a little marketing plan, like a little grant plan, to be like, this is what I need to do to get here. So I think that
yeah.
was super, super helpful.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. And it is really interesting. I often find, so I've applied for grants myself over the years, and it is like it forces you to stop and
Yeah.
actually think about the business like outside of the daily to-do list.
Yeah, 100%. And it's big thinking. It's like big business thinking, because it's just like just like the overall art, like the overarching need for like what you need this money for, and like
Mm.
what it is going to scale it up. I think that's it's good to do that anyway. It's like, I think even with your business plan, just like really reframe everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad. Well, I know that you're going to put the money to great use and it
Oh,
is going to have a huge impact on your business. So I'm so stoked for you. And
thank
thank you
you
so
so
much for
much.
sharing your experience.
Oh, if anytime. Thank you so much. Amazing.